In this video, I'm not going to ask you to believe anything. I'm only going to ask you to think and to follow the evidence. Let's start by understanding what this claim actually means and where it falls apart. Let's watch the video and respond.
How to expose this lie that the Muslim they spread and the Christian also copy and they believe it, where they say that Allah is a word mean God, which is not true. We're going to see from the Quran that it is a name of the God of Muhammad. It is not the name of a word mean God, and it is not the same as the Jews nor the Christian what we believe. It is not the same God, but it is the moon God, as you can see from the text there.
If you look back before Islam, you will find that the word Allah was mentioned in many monotheistic contexts. For example, the archaeological findings show that Christians in Jordan used the word Allah in the 5th century, as seen in inscription from al-Jimal.
So we're going to go into Al-Fatiha, chapter 1, verse 1. It says, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. So we see their translator is translating it as the name of Allah. It is a name. Clearly, it is the name of the God of Muhammad. We know that there's nowhere in the Bible mentioned Allah. Neither is nowhere relating to this word. And we're going to see the word where it came from and rooted. Even in the Quran, it will show you who is truly the God of Muhammad. As we're going to go right in the same chapter, verse 2, it goes on to say, praise be to Allah. Alhamdulillah. So we see they remove the letter from Allah, the first letter, which is Al, and they took it out, and it becomes the true translation. As you can see here, it is praise be to Allah, not Allah. They translate it falsely. As you look, we're going to compare. Look at if you compare the verse 2, the word for Allah, and verse 1, the word for Allah, we see that the A has gone, and we cannot take out a letter from a name because it is a part of the name, which clearly shows if it was a word, then it wouldn't have even changed. If it's a word mean God, but we see who they are praising. They are praising Allah. Let us go on to see who is this Allah and who is this God. As you can see, I have some image here display, which is the moon God, and we're going to check the meaning there, and it says Al meaning divine. The word Al meaning deity or goodly, great, idol, mighty one, power, strong. Also in reference to the Most High. So we can see here that it is referring to God, which is Al meaning God. So now let's...
Al is a part of the word and it means the. For example, the book is al-kitab, the sea is al-bahr, the bird al-asfur, the house al-manzil. It becomes lil when we say to the as lil-kitab, lil-bahr, lil-asfur, lil-manzil.
So now let's go on to see what the meaning of La is. La is in Egyptian, Ja, Ya. We can see there in Coptic and the Egyptian, as how it's spelled and pronounced, is a lunar deity in ancient Egyptian religion. The word Ja or Ya or La, which simply means moon. So we already see that Al, we could put it here, Al equal to God, La equal to moon. So when we put them together, we have God moon, which is the moon God, and we know
there are many fabrications in this. In fact, the Coptic language does not contain the sound L. And this word also does not contain an A sound. Instead, it has two pharyngeal consonants. Let me explain. This sounds like I or Y. This sounds like A. This sounds like HA. This does not have a sound. So, in the end, it sounds like IAH. Do you see how many fabrications exist around this word? This is why you find the Arabic version of Wikipedia is different. One source is trying to prove something against Islam, while the other accounts for all the actual sounds of the language.
who is Allah. And even in the Quran, the Abraham that they have, it says here, and when he saw the moon uprising, he exclaimed, this is my Lord. But when it set, he said, unless my Lord guide me, I shall surely become as one of the folk who are astray. In chapter 6, verse 7, we see here Abraham was looking upon the moon, and he says, he declared, this is my Lord. Then verse 78 says, and when he saw the sun uprising, he cried, this is my Lord, this is greater. But we know that in the Arabic, it is meaning bigger, or as they've translated, greater. And when it set, he exclaimed, O my people, lo, I am free from all that ye associate with him. So you see here, Abraham was looking for his God. And you see in the Muslim Abraham, not the Abraham in the Bible, of course, obviously the God of Abraham, which is...
Actually, this passage starts with Ibrahim debating his people in verse 74. Then he uses their own beliefs against them, starting with star, then the moon, then the sun, to show their flaws. Verse 83 supports this, saying he was arguing with them. He wasn't searching for God. He knew the truth. And also, don't forget that the Quran condemns the worship of the sun and the moon in chapter 41, verse 37.